Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paul Mueller. Public schools are scrambling to cover their budget losses after the governor's controversial education cuts became law. Now, while widely criticized by school officials statewide, Republicans are claiming a victory. I caught up with State House Speaker Richard Corcoran to find out why in this week's Sunday One-on-One. So we want to talk about House Bill 7069, right? Former Governor Jeb Bush, as well as Senate President Joe Negron, both weighing in saying it's a great day for Florida. However, at the same time, there are a lot of school officials throughout the state, including right here in the Bay Area, scrambling right now, saying they don't know what they're going to do for next year's school budget.
There is no budget impact. And what I would say to the local school districts is what really is at issue is money. What they care about is their bricks and mortar money. And what this bill does is it says we're going to put our focus on building beautiful minds, not beautiful buildings. Every single person, I don't care if it's Pasco, Hillsborough, they build $40 million Taj Mahals on the front page of the local section yesterday.
Like Pasco, though, not Hillsborough. I don't know.
No.
Hillsborough's?
Okay, here's Hillsborough County. The superintendent of schools just came out and said they're trying to cut. You want to know why? Because Broward County has more students than Hillsborough County. They have 1,500 less employees. Orange County has about the same number of students. They have 3,500 less employees. The problem in Hillsborough County is bloat, mismanagement, and efficiency, and that was the St. Pete Times, or Tampa Bay Times, that wrote that just yesterday on the front page.
So when they're blaming the lawmakers, they're sitting there, it was a couple of days ago, when they're sitting there in their workshop blaming lawmakers, saying they are not looking out for our children. How do you respond to that?
It is the most pro-parent, pro-teacher, pro-student bill in the history of the state. It says that no longer will we tolerate being the third largest state and the richest country in the world and having kids have to go to failure factories their entire educational career.
And you're talking about
failure, that ends. That ends.
You're talking about failure factories in public schools, right?
Yes, this is the bill. Almost 100% of the funding goes to public schools. This is a public school funding bill, and it's geared towards helping students get a world-class education.
So why are so many school officials saying the money is being taken away from the public schools and all this money going to charter schools when public schools have what you call these failure factories? Governor Scott said
our focus is on students. It really needs to be on students. And I would even say to these superintendents, fine, you know what we're going to do then? We're going to come back and we're going to mandate every single thing in this bill goes into the classroom. It doesn't go to administration. It doesn't go to more bloat. It doesn't go to more capital expenditures. It goes to the classroom, and that's where the money belongs. This is transformative policy that helps kids get a world-class education. And we're not going to rob them of their hope and dignity anymore. We're not going to just absolutely hold them captive in a failure factory when they have no opportunity. 100,000 kids, 80,000 of them are basically functionally illiterate. That has to stop. It's impossible. That's where the outrage should be. That's where people should be saying enough is enough.
Governor Scott said this will make public schools more competitive to force them to improve, and that's what I'm hearing from you. Is that right?
Listen, a rising tide raises all ships. And so, yeah, I think there's an opportunity, but this is a public school bill. This is a public school funding bill, and we want to have the best public school system in the entire nation.
So the timeliness of how the governor signed this bill, I mean, we've got 2 weeks to the fiscal year, and the Hillsborough County school superintendent was saying, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do now. We've allocated all the funds for the next year, and now we basically are scrambling to figure out what we're going to do next.
What they need to do is quit with the bloat, quit with the big buildings, quit with the inefficiencies. The article said it themselves. Why do we have 3,500 more employees than Orange County? How are they being able to do and have good outcomes in Orange County as good as Hillsborough, and they have 3,500 less personnel? The second thing, too, is, look, we had the Gates. The Gates came into Hillsborough County. $100 million we're going to invest. They pulled out because of the absolute waste of the money that the county was doing. These are the things that have to stop. That money belongs with the kids in the classroom. And if they do that, they're going to have good outcomes.
Let's talk about the race for governor. We've got a whole lot of we've got a whole lot of people in the Republican field so far. They basically have no name recognition, if you will, in the state. The biggest person right now is Adam Putnam, the Florida Agricultural Commissioner. Are you going to run?
I've said all along, I'm honored to be Speaker. I'm Speaker. My second term doesn't end until probably March of 2018, and I'll make a decision then.
But you have a huge voice up there, and you're known for your, for your style of being, I'm not going to take this from you, I'm not going to take this from you, towards the Senate, towards the governor. I mean, you're not going to go ahead and use that voice and lead the state?
I have that opportunity now as Speaker of the House, and yeah, I don't think I'm that heavy-handed. I just think that I'm going to fight for the little guy and the little gal, push back on the special interests, and do what's right by the people. And when you do that, sometimes you rattle cages, you rattle establishment school people, you rattle those folks who have something to gain from the process. And I don't mind rattling those cages for the little guy and the little gal.
Obviously, so there's a possibility then you could run for governor.
Yeah, absolutely haven't ruled it out. Absolutely haven't ruled it out. But that's a decision I can make in March. And maybe people say to me, the experts say it's too late. But then if it's too late, it's too late. But I'm going to continue to fight for those folks in Tallahassee and do great things and try to make the state better for everybody.
That was our Sunday one-on-one.